I need some help with a question about the Census Report 2011 on languages. It asks us to identify the incorrect fact from a list of statements.
Let's go through each statement one by one. What's the first statement?
The first statement is, unique number of mother tongues returned at raw level, 19,569. Do you think this is accurate?
Actually, it is accurate. The census report of 2011 did return 19,569 unique mother tongues at the raw level. This includes various dialects and subdialects that people reported.
That's interesting. So, the number 19,569 is correct. What about the next statement? Total number of rationalized mother tongues, 1369?
Yes, this is also correct. The census data went through a rationalization process where similar or synonymous names were grouped together, reducing the number to 1,369 rationalized mother tongues.
Got it. So, both of those facts are correct. The third statement says, total number of languages with a speaker strength of 10,000 or more, 121. Is this true?
Yes, that's true. According to the Census Report 2011, there are indeed 121 languages spoken by 10,000 or more people in India.
Okay, so this one is also correct. The last statement is, total number of languages, 1652. What do you think about this one?
This one is incorrect. The total number of languages listed in the Census Report 2011 is actually 1,635, not 1,652. It seems like a small difference, but it's enough to make this statement inaccurate.
So, the correct facts are about the unique mother tongues, the rationalized mother tongues, and the languages spoken by 10,000 or more people. The incorrect fact is the total number of languages, which should be 1,635 instead of 1,652.
Exactly. The correct answer to the question about the incorrect fact is the statement total number of languages, 1652. All the other statements are accurate according to the Census Report 2011.
Hey Tom, can you help me with a question about phonetics? It asks which type of sounds are produced with a complete closure of the vocal tract and characterized acoustically by silence.
Let's look at the options together. What's the first one?
The first option is non-continuance. Do you think that's correct?
Yes, non-continuance is correct. These sounds are produced with a complete closure of the vocal tract, which stops the airflow completely for a moment, resulting in silence. Examples include stops like P, T, and K.
That makes sense. What about the next option? Consonantals.
Consonantals refers to a broader category that includes all consonants, which are sounds produced with some degree of constriction in the vocal tract. While non-continuants are a subset of consonantals, not all consonantals are produced with a complete closure and silence. So this one isn't specific enough.
I see. So consonantals include non-continuants, but aren't limited to them. The third option is continuants. What about that one?
Continuants are the opposite of non-continuants. They are produced with continuous airflow through the vocal tract, without complete closure. Examples include sounds like S, Z, and F. So, this option is definitely incorrect for sounds characterized by silence.
Got it. And the last option is approximants. How do these fit in?
Approximants are produced with a narrowing of the vocal tract, but not enough to cause turbulent airflow or complete closure. Sounds like L, R, and W are approximants. Since there is no complete closure or resulting silence, this option is also incorrect.
So, to summarize, the correct answer is non-continuants, because they are the sounds produced with a complete closure of the vocal tract and characterized by a moment of silence.
Exactly. Non-continuants are the right choice here. The other options either refer to broader categories or different types of sound production that don't involve complete closure.
I have a question about clitics in linguistics. It asks what wackerangle clitics, which appear after the first element of simple sentences, are also called. Can you help me out?
Let's go through the options together. What's the first one?
The first option is second position clitics. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct. Wackarangle clitics are also known as second-position clitics. They appear right after the first element in a sentence, regardless of what that first element is. This positioning gives them their name.
That makes sense. The next option is first position clitics. How about that one?
First position clitics would imply that the clitic appears at the very beginning of the sentence, which isn't the case for Wackarangle clitics. They specifically appear after the first element, not before it.
So, that one's incorrect. The third option is simple clitics. Does that fit?
No, simple clitics is a more general term that doesn't specify the position of the clitic within a sentence. Wackarangle clitics have a specific second position rule, so simple clitics isn't the right term here.
Got it. And the last option is enclitic. What does that refer to?
Enclitic refers to a clitic that attaches to the end of a word. While Wackarangle clitics might sometimes function as enclitics by attaching to the first word in a sentence, the term enclitic doesn't capture the specific second position rule that defines Wackarangle clitics.
So, to summarize, the correct term for Wackarangle clitics is second position clitics, because they appear right after the first element of a sentence.
Exactly. The other terms either don't specify the position or refer to different positioning rules. Second position clitics is the precise term for Wackarangle clitics.
I need some help with a question about linguistics. It asks who proposed the criterion of obligatoriness to characterize inflection. Can you help me figure this out?
Let's go through the options together. What's the first one?
The first option is Gruber, J.S. Did Gruber propose this criterion?
No, J.S. Gruber is not known for proposing the criterion of obligatoriness in inflection. He has contributed to other areas of linguistics, but not this specific criterion.
Got it. The next option is Gleason, H.A. What about Gleason?
H.A. Gleason made significant contributions to linguistics, particularly in morphology and syntax, but he didn't propose the criterion of obligatoriness for inflection.
Okay, so that's also not the right one. The third option is Hyman, L.M. Is this the correct answer?
No, L.M. Hyman is known for his work in phonology and African languages, but he didn't propose the criterion of obligatoriness for inflection either.
So, the last option is Greenberg, J.H. Did Greenberg propose it?
Yes, J.H. Greenberg is the one who proposed the criterion of obligatoriness to characterize inflection. His work in typology and universals of language includes this important concept.
I need your help with a question about a research article. It asks who wrote the seminal article titled Two Models of Grammatical Description. Do you know who it is?
Let's look at the options. What's the first one?
The first option is Charles F. Hockett. Did Hockett write this article?
Yes, Charles F. Hockett is the author of Two Models of Grammatical Description. He's well known for his contributions to structural linguistics and his work on the design features of language.
Great, so Hockett is the correct answer. The next option is Kibbe M. Horry. Did Horry write it?
No, Kibbe M. Horry is not associated with this particular article. I'm not even sure if there are significant publications under this name in the field of linguistics.
Got it. The third option is Greville G. Corbett. What about him?
Greville G. Corbett is known for his work in morphology and typology, particularly on gender systems in languages. However, he did not write Two Models of Grammatical Description.
Okay, so that's not the right one either. The last option is Joan L. Bybee. Could she be the author?
Joan L. Bybee is an influential linguist known for her work in phonology and morphology, especially in usage-based models of grammar. However, she is not the author of Two Models of Grammatical Description.
So, to summarize, the correct answer is Charles F. Hockett, since he's the one who wrote the article.
Exactly, Ella. Charles F. Hockett is the right choice. The other names are prominent linguists, but they didn't author this particular work.
I have a question about some linguistic examples. It asks what process is illustrated by the sentences Bresnan criticized Chomsky and Bresnan's criticism of Chomsky. Can you help me figure it out?
Let's look at the options together. What's the first one?
The first option is Bresnan criticized Chomsky. Does this directly tell us what process is at work?
Not really. This is just one of the example sentences. We need to focus on what the transformation between this sentence and Bresnin's criticism of Chomsky represents.
Got it. The second option is Bresnin's criticism of Chomsky. Again, this is another example, not the process itself.
Right. Both of these sentences are examples, so they don't directly name the process we are looking for.
The third option is scrambling. Could that be it?
Scrambling refers to the rearrangement of words or phrases within a sentence, usually found in languages with relatively free word order. That's not what's happening between these two sentences.
Okay, so scrambling is not the right process. The next option is nominalization. What about that?
Yes, that's the correct answer. Nominalization is the process of converting a verb phrase into a noun phrase. In this case, criticized becomes criticism, turning the action into a noun.
That makes sense. The next option is transformation. Is this the correct term?
Transformation is a broader term that can refer to many different kinds of changes in syntactic structure, including nominalization. However, it's not specific enough for this particular process.
Got it. The last option is paraphrasing. Could that fit?
Paraphrasing involves rephrasing a sentence in a different way while keeping the same meaning. While the two sentences can be considered paraphrases of each other, the specific process at work is nominalization.
So, to summarize, the correct answer is nominalization, because it accurately describes the process of converting criticized to criticism.
Exactly. Nominalization is the specific linguistic process at play here.
I need your help with a question about the Kourux language. It asks which language family Kourux belongs to. Do you know the answer?
Let's go through the options together. What's the first one?
The first option is Indo-Aryan. Does Kourux belong to the Indo-Aryan family?
No, Kourux is not part of the Indo-Aryan family. Indo-Aryan languages include Hindi, Bengali, and Marathi, which are quite different from Kourux.
Got it. The next option is Austroasiatic. Could that be the family?
No, Kourux doesn't belong to the Austroasiatic family either. Austroasiatic languages include Munda languages and Khasi, but Kourux is not one of them.
Okay, so that's not it. The third option is Dravidian. What about that?
Yes, Kourux belongs to the Dravidian language family. It's related to other Dravidian languages like Tamil, Telugu, and Kannada, even though it's primarily spoken in Jharkhand.
That makes sense. The last option is Tibeto-Burman. Is that correct?
No, Kourux is not part of the Tibeto-Burman family. Tibeto-Burman languages are spoken mainly in the northeastern region of India and include languages like Tibetan and Burmese.
So, to summarize, the correct answer is Dravidian, because Kourux belongs to the Dravidian language family.
Exactly. Kourux is indeed a Dravidian language.
Can you help me with a question about linguistic construction? It asks what the sentence in brackets, Kim couldn't swim, exemplifies in the sentence Chris told Lee Kim couldn't swim.
Let's go through the options. What's the first one?
The first option is embedding. Does the sentence in brackets represent embedding?
Yes, that's correct. Embedding refers to the inclusion of one sentence within another. In this case, Kim couldn't swim is embedded within the larger sentence Chris told Lee.
That makes sense. The next option is scrambling. Could that be it?
No, scrambling refers to the rearrangement of words or phrases within a sentence, which usually changes the word order. This isn't what's happening in your example.
Got it. The third option is binding. What about binding?
Binding deals with the relationships between pronouns and the nouns they refer to, ensuring that pronouns correctly link to their antecedents. The sentence in brackets doesn't illustrate this concept.
Okay, so that's not the right one either. The last option is nominalization. Could that fit?
No, nominalization involves turning a verb or an entire clause into a noun phrase. This isn't the case here since Kim couldn't swim remains a full clause embedded within the larger sentence.
Sure thing. The main objective is the grand quest. That is, to explore the relationship between the use of modern teaching techniques and the student performance. So that's the main objective, the grand quest, to like explore the relationship between the use of modern teaching techniques and the performance of the students after having applied those modern teaching techniques on the students. So it's like a grand quest overall. That's main objective. That's the main objective.
Exactly, Mia. Embedding is the right term for this construction.
Thanks. This clears things up perfectly.
I have a question about Sanskrit poetics. It asks who is considered the first major exponent of verbal symbolism, or Dhvani. Do you know who it is?
Let's go through the options. What's the first one?
The first option is Bhamaha. Is he known for verbal symbolism?
No, Bhamaha was an early figure in Sanskrit poetics, but he is not known for Dhvani. He focused more on rhetorical devices and figures of speech.
Got it. The next option is Kantaka. Could he be the one? Actually, tell you what, Kantaka is known for his work on poetic style and aesthetics, but he didn't pioneer the concept of Dhvani. He contributed to literary theory, but not specifically to verbal symbolism.
Okay, so Kantaka isn't the right answer. The third option is Abhinavagupta. What about him? What I recall about him is that Abhinavagupta was a significant figure in Sanskrit poetics and philosophy, especially known for his commentaries and works on aesthetics and rasa. However, he expanded on the concept of Dhvani rather than being its first major exponent.
So, the last option is Anandavardhana. Is he the correct answer? Okay, I will tell you, don't worry. Yes, Anandavardhana is indeed the correct answer. He is considered the first major exponent of verbal symbolism, or Dhvani. His work Dhvaniloka laid the foundation for the Dhvani theory in Sanskrit poetics. So, to summarize, the correct answer is Anandavardhana, because he is the first major proponent of Dhvani. Exactly. Anandavardhana's contributions to the concept of Dhvani are foundational in the field of Sanskrit poetics.